Mm-hmm. Mama, mama, can't you see what this arm has done to me? Dressed me up in army greens, took away my blue jeans. Good morning. How's everybody doing? It is another day, one more day above the ground, and the ground, of course, is not above you. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is Decisions. Why do we call it that? Well, because everything we do requires us to make one. And even if we don't make one, well, we just made one, didn't we? Yes, we did. It is time to rise and shine. There are many things to talk about. It's chilly outside this morning, but that's okay. It could be worse. We could be living outside this morning, like some people do. Good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine.
We change the world and history right here where we're from. It's new beginning to you and me, cause we're not done. In our city, in our city, in our city, we're not done. I appreciate that.
And good morning, everybody. Hope this day finds you well, doing okay. Yes, life is one big journey. What are you going to do with yours? Good morning to you. It's time for our daily bread. You know, a word from on high, something that'll change your perspective or give you a new one. But either way, good for the soul. Okay, so let's bear with me for a second. A lot of things to talk about. The mayor's supposed to be here at 8 o'clock, so we all try to get all this out of the way before he gets here. Well, not get here, but comes online with us. Okay? I'm going to be tough on him today. I'm going to be tough. That's right. When I get done with him today, he going to think my name is Brillo Pad. Well, probably not. We'll be back. But this. Brillo Pad. Right. Next up, Billy Bragg.
every moment filled with your warm embrace.
Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Today's reading, titled Your Life's Passion, was written by David Roper. One evening, years ago, my wife and I were making our way down a mountain trail, accompanied by two friends. The trail was narrow and wound around a slope with a steep drop on one side and an unclimbable bank on the other. As we came around a bend, I saw a large bear moseying along, swinging his head from side to side and quietly huffing. We were downwind, and he hadn't detected our presence, but he would soon. Our friend began to rummage around in her jacket for a camera. "Oh, I must take a picture," she said. I, being less comfortable with our odds, said, "No, we must get out of here." So we backed up quietly until we were out of sight and ran. That's how we should feel about the dangerous passion to get rich. There's nothing wrong with money. It's just a medium of exchange. But those who desire to get rich fall into temptation and a trap and into many foolish and harmful desires that plunge them into ruin and destruction. Paul wrote in 1 Timothy 6:9, "Wealth is only a goad to get more." Instead, we should pursue righteousness, godliness, faith, love, endurance, and gentleness. These traits grow in us as we pursue them and ask God to form them within us. This is how we secure the deep satisfaction we seek in God. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from 1 Timothy chapter 6, verses 6 through 12. But godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out of it. But if we have food and clothing, we will be content with that. Those who want to get rich fall into temptation and a trap, and into many foolish and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Some people, eager for money, have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. But you, man of God, flee from all this and pursue righteousness, godliness, faith, love, endurance, and gentleness. Fight the good fight of the faith. Take hold of the eternal life to which you were called when you made your good confession in the presence of many witnesses. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, teach us to pursue righteousness and godliness over riches on earth that leave us feeling empty. May we be content with what you've given us and be good stewards of all that you've entrusted us with. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries. Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Today's reading, titled Your Life's Passion, was written by David Roper.
All right. We just got that. We got
one evening years ago.
Okay. We got that one good. Let's talk about it. Let's do something else. And now, of course, we are going to get the armed forces given to you by our young folks at the Macmillan School of Communication and things of that nature. And then we'll get on something else. Somebody said that the mayor thinks my name is KY Jelly. You know, for years I've heard of KY Jelly, but I don't even know what you do with it. You put that on toast? What is that? I don't even know what it is. I heard of it though. What is it? I don't know. Anyway, whatever KY jelly is, I hope it tastes good. There we go. I'm waking up. We got it. I got you. I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you on this one. Good morning, everybody. Listen, the only reason why that word came up is because Don, of course, says that the mayor thinks my name is KY Jelly. Now, I don't know. I don't know. Is that something you put on toast? I don't know what that is. I heard of it before. I thought it was just something, or something I don't know. I mean, what does jelly do? Jelly, you put it on toast, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. What's it, Kentucky jelly or something like that? I don't know what it is. But anyway, whatever it is, I know it's an insult some kind of way because he never says anything nice. So I don't know. But some things is better if I don't know what they are. Okay. I mean, I've lived a while, but I don't know everything. Okay. So I don't know. But anyway, where did he put that at? He said, the mayor thinks your name is KY Jelly. Really? Seriously? Come on, man. Whatever it is. Anyway, do I look like toast? Man, give me a break. Anyway, good morning, everyone. I hope this morning finds everybody doing well. It's 7:18 in the morning. Let's go to the weather for the rest of the day. Now, it's supposed to start warming up. I'm not exactly sure when that's going to take place. But right now, according to the weatherman outside, it is 28 degrees. A little chilly, outside this morning. But it could be worse if you were living outside. So let's not complain. Okay. So today, believe it or not, it's going to be a heat wave. The high today is going to be 59 degrees. There's a 5% chance of snow, rain, or something with mixed clouds. But other than that, though, I think you're going to be okay. Tonight, around 23% chance of precipitation, cloudy skies, slight chance of rain or shower. Low tonight, 41. Okay, heat wave, another heat wave. Tomorrow, a 35% chance of rain or some sort of precipitation. That could be snow, I guess. Cloudy early with showers for the afternoon. Winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Okay, so it's going to warm up today a little bit. So so just get out of bed right now. Turn your heater on. Don't turn it on too much though. Alabama Power. When you turn on your little heater, Alabama Power loves you because they just stick it to you. I mean, with everything they got. Okay. I mean, they just up the price on the power and everything. So listen, just if you don't have to turn your little power thing on, don't do it. I'm just telling you, don't do it. Don't do it. No. Because when you do that, okay, Dr. Joe makes extra money on his stock market thing. Okay, I'm just saying. So let's deprive them of money. Let's deprive Alabama Power of money. Okay. Now I was going to protest by turning off all the heat in the house. Okay. not watching TV, not watching anything. Anything that had to do with electricity, I was going to boycott it for 1 week. Okay? 1 week. I'm going to boycott electricity. Now, starting next week. I mean, it's too cold this week to avoid it. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it all off, and we'll see how we'll see how it goes. Good morning, Willie. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, Willie, you guys in the insurance business right now are really taking your lumps right now. I mean, everybody on TV, everybody on the internet is saying, how y'all sticking it to us? Now, I feel good with Steve. Now that's going to. I mean, after a while, I don't know how I'm going to afford insurance, but y'all always treated me. You've always treated me right, so I got no. But because I know you don't own State Farm, but if have you noticed they tell us that most of the money goes to the insurance agent and not to insure my car. Now, I don't know. We're all in business to make money, like Dr. Joe. I mean, he don't mind when the power goes up. He don't mind when the power goes up because when the power goes up, he gets a little extra on his check. I'll say so. The way life looks depends on where you're sitting at, right? That's true. Depending on where you're sitting at. I mean, if you got stocks in Alabama Power, then you don't mind them going up on the price because you get a little extra change, you know. Now, if you barely got socks to wear and Alabama Power goes up, then you're in some trouble because you can't even wash the clothes. I'm just saying. But we are giving the insurance company the blues right now. Now, here's what I don't quite understand. Why does my insurance go up when I don't have an accident? Now, you can explain that one to me. I'll be a nice guy. I mean, why does my insurance go up? Okay, I know you don't have a 300. I know you don't have a $300 electric bill, but that's because you're getting all the money from me. Yeah, because they know that you are a stockholder, and once if they go up on the price on you, I mean, you're not going to pay it anyway. The shareholders paying this, so I'm good. And again, I've been trying to figure that one out for 2 days now. $300 and a little Billy apart. How does that happen? But that's okay. I'm not mad at anybody. You know, I mean, that's just the way it goes. I'm just saying. So that's what I'm saying. So you are shielded from this. Okay. Now I will say one thing. I will say one thing. Oh, not it. Okay. So the money goes to personal injury attorneys. I can understand that because the minute you have an accident, for those folks who have them, yeah. Oh my lord, have you ever seen? And where's Shinora at? I mean, I'm missing his signs outside. You know, where's he at? I mean, every time you have a little accident, you keep your thermostat at 70, 70, 70. That's kind of cold, ain't it? That's now in the summertime, I keep mine at about 74, somewhere around there. I don't need to go down to 70. No wonder your electric bill a month. You're a guy from the Caucasus Mountains, so you used to being cold. I can't do it. Okay, I'm just saying. It's hard for people. But again, I am on a serious note. I am concerned about older people and I'm an older people now. Okay, not too old, but I'm getting there. And how do these folks live if they don't get any more money than what they get? And bills keep going up, gas keeps going up, rent keeps going up, everything keeps going up. Make you want to be a Democrat. Okay, but unfortunately for the Democrats in House Representatives and stuff like that, they're making all kinds of money. Because their portfolio is looking pretty good right about now, especially Terry Sewell, who always want to come down here and tell us how bad the white man is up there, how Trump is, and she's sitting there making all kinds of cheese in her stock market because all these idiots up there know how to play the game, and they know what's going to affect the stock market and what isn't because they make the laws. So I don't hear nothing else from Terry Sewell, okay, about the poor folks, okay. I don't hear nothing else from her. Okay. I don't know. Old folks knew about KYJ. Well, what is it? I mean, Don tells me that because I told him I'm gonna be so hard on the mayor today that they're gonna call me Brillo Pad when I get done with him. Okay. However, Don says he's gonna call me KY Jelly. So, well, I mean, that's what you put on toast. So I don't know. Although I must admit, I do like blackberry jelly. Blackberry jelly is really, really, really outstanding. I just love that stuff with a little butter on the bread and stuff like that. You know, cold. I like cold bread, cold butter, and blackberry jelly on it, and just go to town on it. You know, yeah. Next time you see it, well, you wouldn't want to see it. But anyway, I don't know what that is, but I have heard the name before. Lessons of life today. Now these are the words I want you guys to take with you as the day goes on. I realize that there are like there are disappointments in life often, like getting a light bill for $300. Okay, okay, that right there, uh, you know, it's tough sometimes. I realize that. However, remember this: the sun is permanent. It is the clouds that are temporary in life. So look for the sun wherever you go, because we're all going to have some rainy days. Okay, you know when my mama told you to save some for a rainy day. Okay, well it's raining, so we need to get out. We need to get out what we get out. Okay, I'm just saying. Um, Brillo Sewell is the perfect Democrat representative. Yeah, yeah. Talked out of one side of her mouth and gets rich, gets paid on the other side of her mouth. Okay, which again, I don't have a problem with people who make money. I like people with money. I can't. I'm a little self-employed computer guy, and people with money will call me to pay me. But do you know one of the most disingenuous and the most egotistical sayings that people can have in the workplace? Here's one right here. I work for myself. Now, if you really believe that, you need to go up to the VA or somebody, if you're not a veteran, the mental health people in the state of Alabama, and have your head checked. Okay? Nobody works for themselves. We all work for the guy or the woman that pays us. Okay, we don't work. Now, so the correct word is, I'm gonna help you guys out here. The correct word is I am self-employed. Okay. That's the correct word. Okay. Somebody said, light a candle, get you a big thick woman. I'm sorry, brother. That's just too much heat. But anyway, so much for that. The mayor's coming at 8 o'clock, so we're gonna talk about a little things before then. He's supposed to come at 8 o'clock anyway, but he won't do me like Jamel did. Jamel said, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. Okay. That's right. Hey. That's what that corner. That's what that it means. Decisions up there. See, that's what that little thing is up there for, because it's about the making the right decision. Okay, I'm glad you figured that out. That's good. I like that. You're not as bad as I thought you were, Don. Yeah. I'm glad you noticed that up there in the corner, because it means decisions. We all have many of them to make in our lives. Some good, some bad. Some we shouldn't have made. Some we should have made. You know what I mean? Sometimes we just turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around. Okay, then. But at the end of the day, all of those signs point back to you. Okay, they point back to you. How you make those decisions. But it is right. But Will is right about now the personal injury lawyer. That's if we're going to blame anybody, if we're going to blame anybody for the prices going up on insurance, it's got to be the lawyers. Yeah. Where's Blevins at when you need them? Yeah, it's got to be the lawyers. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it's got to be the lawyers, because they every time you get in an accident. I hope your doctor used KY jelly during your last prostate exam. I don't think I ever had a prostate exam, but listen, if you got to go way up there to, to get it, they did a what do you call this, the thing they do through your blood. They don't really have to go up your rectum no more to check that thing out, because I'm skittish with somebody going up the rectum. We no, I had a barium enema one time. Got sick. had a barium enema, and a barium enema is when they take something, go up your rump, and look up there and see. I had a bunch of doctors behind me looking at my butt, and I was worried there for a minute. I mean, I was hoping they wouldn't have some strange thoughts or anything like that. So I just had to deal with it. Okay. You work for Uncle Sam. We all work for Uncle Sam. we all work for Uncle Sam. Okay, we all do. If you pay taxes, you work for Uncle Sam. Okay, that's just the way it goes. So nobody worked for themselves. Okay, most people are self-employed, but but that's not working for yourself. That is working for whoever pays you. Okay, but anyway, I'm gonna call. I got the new name, Brillo Pad. Oh yeah. That's my new name. Call me. Okay, no, don't call me that. That's okay. Okay. So Willie, I'm gonna cut you some slack here. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. The lawyers and the representatives. But here before I get on to anything serious, herein lies the agenda. I heard who's that former senator now is doing a radio show. He what's his name over there on Blue Water? What's his name? What is the guy's name? I can't think of his name, but he's right about one thing. He says often that Democrats are not wrong often on the things they complain about, and I would agree with him. He says, but what they are wrong at is the remedy, and I would agree with that too. I would agree. I mean, it basically if you got parents who think their kid wants to be a boy or a girl, vice versa, and you take them to the doctor and have his little wiener cut off because now you're going to make him a girl. That's the wrong remedy. Okay, the remedy is let him get 18, and if he still has those feelings, let him go get his own whacker cut off. Okay. So the remedy is not to make it legal for every child and their idiot parents to try to change their sex. Because even if they cut off your wiener, you're still a guy without a wiener. I'm just saying. So it doesn't change. The part that you have doesn't make you what you are. You are what you are. That's why they have the parts you have. Okay, I'm just saying. So the Democrats are not necessarily wrong all the time. Okay, prostate cancer is the second leading cause of cancer. They're doing among for black men. Please get your prostate checked. Okay, they do, but they don't have to go up your rump no more to do that. They do it with a blood test now. Okay, I'm just saying. At your age, please don't say you've never had a. Well, I haven't. I mean, at least not that I know of. I mean, not that I know of. And I'm 68 now, so I mean, guess I'm doing okay. But because I got this issue with people, going up in me. Okay, that's just an issue. But so I went to the I go to a doctor every 6 months and have a checkup, and they do it by I don't know exactly what they call it. They have this thing that they can check it through your blood, and see if you got any I don't know something. Anyway, there's something in there. Okay, it's something in there. My sister died of breast cancer, so I certainly became more aware of it in the last five, 5 to 10 years um, about cancer. But you know what? It seems to be the only thing that we cannot cure, and we collect a lot of money to cure cancer. I truly believe that there are some things that we will never cure because God doesn't want us to think that we God. Okay, I really I don't believe that. Um, oh yeah. I think the interest on credit cards should be capped at 10%. I'm sorry, but yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. I think that this 29% interest, okay, just dumb. Listen, and Shelley, I feel you. I feel you, but has anybody cured it? Has anybody cured cancer? Has anybody cured it? No. I do believe that. But listen, now, you want to come. I'll let you in my studio here. We can have that conversation if you want to. We've been Danny Thomas was for years on TV collecting all kinds of money for St. Jude Hospital. I know we haven't cured it. We have collected billions of dollars to try to cure cancer. I just believe there are some things that the good Lord not going to let us cure. Then we'll really think we somebody. Okay, and I just don't, I just don't think that we have the maturity as a human being to have that kind of power. I mean, well, listen, we already got egos already because we catch touchdowns. I mean, you ever seen those guys who get a touchdown? Okay, I mean, they get a touchdown, they think they somebody. My Lord, if we cure cancer some kind of way, we really gonna think we somebody. So I don't know, But again, although listen, having a relative that died of it, trust me, it's something that comes across my mind all the time. But I couldn't help my sister. They couldn't either. They all they did was, I mean, they made her comfortable, I guess, and but it broke my heart. It did. I didn't know. I haven't felt that way about anybody uh, except Derek DeQuarius Green, who I knew him, and I went to see him Friday at his. I forgot exactly what they call that when you go see somebody when they're in the casket. That broke my heart too, and my heart don't break easily. Okay, they have cured several types of cancer. I hear you, Doctor Joe, but they haven't cured cancer. And somebody, I, yeah, and no, exactly treatment. Yeah, and we treat. Yeah, we treat a lot of things, but treating it and curing it. And can somebody tell me exactly what cancer is? Is it an overpopulation of cells? I haven't figured out what it is. I mean, if somebody said you got chicken pox, I know what chicken pox are because it hits your skin and kind of things. Or measles, I know it's happening. But cancer, what is cancer? And maybe that's one of the reasons why we can't seem to cure it because we just we don't quite mean it. So I think it's an overpopulation of sales. I believe that's what it is. I'm not exactly sure. It's not a subject that I like talking about very much, but I think that's what it is. Anyway, moving right along to other things. The city of Montgomery had their cold weather. I'm gonna ask the mayor about this. Had their cold weather thing the other day, and so from 7 o'clock in the night to 7 o'clock in the morning, you had a place to go. But at 7 o'clock, when it's really getting cold outside, they put you out. I just need to. I don't. We got the Whitewater Center. We got all of these centers. We got all these empty buildings around. It just seems to me that inclement weather is a big issue, and we need to have a place for folks who don't have a place. And used to be, I thought people were just lazy, didn't want a place, didn't want to live inside. Hell, it's hard to find a place that you can afford now to live inside. So maybe we just need a place. And again, the Salvation Army, I don't understand why our city councilmen can't man up and find a place for the Salvation Army to have a place to do their work. For the life of me, I can't. Nobody wants the Salvation Army to be in their neighborhoods. We don't want them in our neighborhood, but wait till our neighborhood doesn't exist anymore with a good tornado blast, and then we can't say we don't want people in our neighborhood because guess what? We don't have a neighborhood anymore. So I'm just saying, we need to think about these things while we whine all the time, because you never know. It takes one storm and your neighborhood's gone. Okay, you're trying to hold on to something that you can't hold on to, but at least we can do is at least then all the neighborhood associations ought to get together and lend some money to the Salvation Army or lend some land to the Salvation Army so they can put something up. I mean, it makes no sense that these people are in the business of helping people like these people who are outside, and then we don't want them in our neighborhood. We are the most arrogant, hypocritical people on God's green earth. We call ourselves Christians, but we don't want a Christian organization to help people. That absolutely just mystifies me. Mystifies me. You know, mystifies me. What? And the city councilman, I hate to say this, don't have the balls to make a mistake. And the ones who don't have balls down there, they don't have the something else, whatever that is. I don't know what that would be for the women. This thing should have been taken care of a couple years ago. The Salvation Army should have a place in somebody's district. I mean, I don't even know how y'all sleep at night when it's cold. And then we wait a minute, and then we bring people in at 7 p.m. when it's getting cold, and we put them out after it's real cold at 7 o'clock in the morning. It is cold as hell outside at 7 o'clock in the morning, and we put people out because we are so selfish, so egotistical, so bombastic that we will and hypocritical. You know what hypocritical means? It's a Greek word. It means mask. It means that we put on a mask for the public, but we don't really mean that crap. Okay? So we don't have a Salvation Army, and we got the Salvation Army in our city. So because nobody wants it in their neighborhood. Okay? Hey, you can put it in my neighborhood. I don't care. Put it in my neighborhood. Put it in Capitol Heights. I don't care. I really don't care. Help people, and if they get stupid and start breaking in people's houses, we'll teach them a lesson. But the Salvation Army needs to, and I thought we were going to put them down in Bonnycrest. Bonnycrest, that really nice old what's it down? Was that I think that was I think it was a golf club, a golf something. They ain't down there anymore. Why not use that spot down there? Oh, well, we don't want them in our spot because we don't want them walking around like they ain't got no place to stay. Ooh. They don't have a place to stay. Okay? So I'm just saying, other than that. Evidently, there are people who thinking that Montgomery, now, I don't know if I'm going to ask the mayor about this because he's just going to say he's not going to answer this anyway because they're under litigation at the moment. Okay? Former Montgomery Emergency Communications Director Carl Fortner. Looks like a white guy. Okay. Filed a report with the Department of Justice. That is a white guy. Civil Rights Division on last Friday for alleged workplace discrimination. Fortner was hired by the City of Montgomery's Emergency Communications 911 in November 2023, but was placed on administrative leave in September 2024 and eventually fired. He is appealing the termination. Now, Fortner told 1819 News on Friday that he filed a criminal complaint against Mayor Stephen Reed and his staff for violating 18 U.S.C. 241, conspiracy against rights. Well, according to a copy of the report filed by the DOJ Civil Rights Division, Fortner states, I am a white male. I became the 911 Center Director for City of Montgomery in November 2023, having scored number 1 on the roster after 2 interviews. As it turned out, the second person on the roster was a Black female with far fewer qualifications and less experience. Okay. Over the next several months, the Black female encouraged employees to complain to the Inspector General about policies that were being implemented. The Black female herself also complained. My boss at the time, a white male chief of staff and a white male inspector, found me innocent of any wrongdoing. Several months later, after I made a social media post in defense of my center and staff that the Black mayor, which is the one we got now, didn't like, but a valid exercise of my First Amendment right for free speech. Okay, now I got now, Mr. Fortner, I got to tell you the same thing I had to tell Captain Kelly. when you work for the government, you don't necessarily have all that freedom of speech. Okay. A new black chief of staff and a new black inspector general reopened the investigation and later found me guilty of all charges against me. I was placed on administrative leave on September the 30th, 2024. The black mayor, and we know who that is, and his black chief of staff promoted and they previously passed over a black female to interim director within 18 hours. Fortner said in the report in late July 2025, last year, the mayor's black representative, a retired county court judge, also found me guilty on all alleged policy violations and my employment was terminated. I immediately filed an appeal with the Montgomery Personnel Board, but the city delayed the hearing around October because the black mayor's, why don't you just say the mayor's name? The black mayor, we ain't had but one, mayor's black chief of staff resigned. A week, we knew that, a week before my appeal, and he was to be heard. My hearing date is now set for Monday, January the 12th, which was yesterday. We'll see. I'll check on and see how that worked out. January 12th, 2026. Regardless of the outcome of the hearing, I believe that Montgomery's mayor, his black chief of staff, his black inspector general, his black chief administrative officer, and his white female city attorney conspired to violate my First Amendment rights to free speech, my 14th Amendment right to equal protection, and my civil rights related to discrimination of employment discrimination. While I am not an attorney, I also believe in 18 USC 241 was violated by the above mentioned co-conspirators. He also continued, for the last 15 months, I felt like I was being politically and administratively lynched by a majority black, but all DEI mob trying to settle scores with the white community in the city made famous by, of course, Rosa Parks and Dr. Martin Luther King. And the Montgomery bus boycotts. Racial problems need to be solved in Montgomery, okay, about once and for all. Okay. All right then. Okay. Well, now, listen. There have been some things I've seen since I have been here that, let me put it to you this way. When the oppressed become the oppressor, what makes them any better? Okay. I mean, sure. I've seen some things. Some things I know about, I've never said anything about publicly. Some things I know about. And I do believe, and this is my problem with the whole civil rights thing and the whole keep reminding us of the old day. This is my problem with this. We keep trying to fix what was done long ago with today's people. Okay, we keep trying to fix that. We cannot undo what happened, because when that happens, then we do this. Okay. Now, looking at what the guy wrote makes a lot of sense to me. He said he was lynched. he said he was lynched. Now, I don't know. I don't know if that's for effect or administratively he was lynched, or he just really feels that way. And let's face it. How do you be the first person on the list? You and then you don't get the job. How is that possible? I mean, seriously, how's that possible? How do you become first on a list and don't get the job? And the only disqualification it seems that this guy has is he was a white guy. Okay, I mean, looking at his what he's given to 1819 News. Look at what he's getting, and I like 1819 News, because 1819 News just tells you pretty much straight how it is. I know the folks who run that thing over there. So I just, I mean, how do you not get the job? How's that possible? Well, I think we play the race card, and so I think white folk got a right to play it too. Okay. I'm just saying, yeah. I think the guy brings up an interesting thing. He did throw in that DEI thing right there, though. I don't know where that came from, but okay. Anyway, so I'm not gonna. I'm gonna bring it up, but I'm not gonna ask him about it because I know all he's gonna say is that we are in the litigation and we can't say anything about it. But I've heard from a lot of white folks in this city who really feel that we are trying to undo what was done to a lot of people in this city. And listen, I understand the people in this city. I understand their grievance, but we can't undo what happened. We just can't. And now here's what's going to happen. We're going to have Martin Luther King Day. That's going to be Monday. We're going to celebrate that. Also, we're going to have Black History Month, and then we're going to relive this thing every year for the first of the year. Then we'll spend the rest of the year getting to December. And once we get to December, it's peace on earth and goodwill toward men. Up, there comes January back around again, and we're back talking about it again. So will it ever go away? I say we're not mentally mature enough. Okay. I said we're not mentally mature enough to deal with that path. It is too close. It's going to take 50, 60 more years of the past, for it being in the past, for us to just remember it as a place that we don't want to be, we don't want to go, and we should have never been there, but we were. Okay, so I'm just saying we still got some issues. The question I have today, and it's just me: who plays the race card now? Is the race card just a card to pull out when you want to do something nefarious, or when you want to hire your buddies, or when you? I mean, really, is that what it is? You misreading the article. What do you mean I'm misreading the article? I just read the article here. You misreading the article. He was hired, and then he tried to fire. Well, okay, that's what he said, and couldn't until he put Negroes on the board. Well, whatever the case, whatever the case. I'm trying to put this on the thing so people can see it. But anyway, I think we spent a lot of time trying to undo what happened in the past. And I've been here 34 years, and I've seen 34 years of it, 35 years of it, and it just sometimes it just get on your nerve. But said, no, you undo the history, but they definitely benefited from it. Okay, and so have I. I have benefited. Every time somebody loses a job, somebody benefits from it. Every time you look in the paper and somebody died who worked for Coca-Cola, somebody benefits from it. Somebody gets a job. Benefiting is not sinful, unless you are the one who caused the issue. But it's not. We all benefit from other people. The rich benefit from the poor. The poor don't really. Well, yeah, we do. We get a job. Yeah. Let me see what this is. Yes.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How you?
I'm hanging. Hey, I'm listening. Listening to what you're saying, and man, I wish I was sitting right beside you because I'd probably swing on you. Did you? I want to just make sure I heard you correctly. Now, I hadn't even really gotten started drinking my coffee, but did you just say that? And I want to make sure I heard you correctly. Something about we playing a race card.
Oh, we do play it too often. We do.
We play. Well, where do we learn it from? Let me ask that.
Again, when the
No. Just answer the question.
Wait.
Where did we learn that from?
So, do we want to be like them?
No. It ain't about what we want to be like. I just asked the question. You don't answer the question with a question. Where did we learn that from? Oh, okay. Crickets.
I think it's redundant though.
No. I'm not asking what you think. I asked you a question. I said, where did they learn it from? I don't care what you think. We can't answer a question with a question. I said, where did the people that are playing the race card pick that up from?
Well, I don't know if we picked it up. The whites didn't have any reason to play the race card. Wait.
Of course they did.
No.
Of course they did. They set the rules. Hold on. They set the rules. They played by their rules. They bent their rules. They broke their rules. Matter of fact, I'll do you one even better. How many treaties have America broken
Oh Lord,
that they've okay? No, yeah, okay. So they have right. So, and I'm not saying that it's right, but let's not be dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Now that the rabbit got the gun, it ain't funny.
Well, let me ask you a question. How many? And you're a good preacher, so you're the one I can ask you. How many times have we broke our word with the Lord?
Every day.
Okay.
Everybody that's listening do it every day. But here's the thing.
Exactly.
We're not gonna make no excuses for it. We're not gonna pretend like. And guess what, Kevin? If I live to see the rest of the day, I'm gonna break some more laws, and you are too. And everybody listening gonna do the same thing. But let's stop playing like, well, you know, why are they doing it? Get back. That's what they're doing. It is what it is. We know how it feels not to be hired.
So does that mean that we do it to others?
It doesn't make it right, but I understand.
I don't.
I do. You do. Yes, you do. Man, look here. I know people that have been blotted out, blocked out, been well qualified for positions and jobs, and didn't get the position or job because they were not in the right clique. Matter of fact, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
You got that Montgomery Country Club that sits right down from Old Clover there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many of us are really in there?
It's a private club.
So privately, are they discriminating?
Probably so, but they got a right to. The Bible,
okay,
right for association, of course, is guaranteed by the Constitution.
But hold on, hey, but you know, so that's okay, but this is not okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, look, I'll let y'all carry on. Y'all still fighting the same fight for the last 50 years.
Y'all been doing it for 200 years down here.
No, I ain't. No. I have not. Alabama is 200 years old. Y'all been fighting the same fight. It's not going. He who has the upper hand will have the upper hand, and that's just what we have to. It is what it is. I ain't saying it's right, but I understand. And ain't no sense in sitting here playing like we don't.
But let me ask something, preacher. When people do things to you, what does the Bible say about forgiveness? How many times?
It says you got 70 times. But guess what, Kev? Guess what?
Yeah. Everybody
don't believe. Everybody ain't saved, and everybody ain't playing by the same set of rules. Now what?
But the ones who play by the rules should stand behind that premise, stand behind that philosophy.
Yeah. I agree, but once again,
yeah,
everybody don't play by the rules. Everybody ain't saved. So what means something to us don't mean nothing to them.
Yeah, I hear you. Well,
yeah, and guess what? I'll leave you with this.
Yeah.
And when I say don't mean nothing to them, it ain't just my people.
Right.
It definitely mean nothing to their people because they did it. They did it first. I ain't saying it's right that we picked it up and we're doing it now, but I understand. I'm about the only one that will come out and say it just like that. I'm not saying that it's right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's right, but I understand.
So if you know that it's wrong, then shouldn't you be against it?
Kevin, wait a minute. I say whoremongering is wrong, but it ain't gonna stop you from meeting up with your woman at the hotel.
Well,
I tell you, selling drugs in your community is wrong. It ain't gonna stop you from selling that bag.
But you're not gonna go sell drugs.
No, I'm not gonna do it. Okay. I'm not gonna discriminate. But I listen.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I agree that it's right. I just told you I understand.
Right. Okay.
I'm telling you, it's wrong. It's dead wrong on both sides. But guess what?
Yeah.
I understand.
Okay.
You've been married. I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna get out the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
You ever had a situation between you and the wife where you knew what you was about to do was wrong, but you just wanted to get some get back? You ain't got to even answer. The last says it all.
But again, I'm not in a place of prominence. Individual is one thing.
I didn't ask all that. I just made it plain. I just made it plain for everybody.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. But we were wrong then too.
Huh? Yeah. There you go. You were wrong, but guess what?
Yeah.
We understand.
Okay. All right, Reverend. We understand. We understand. let's talk about your guy and his morality. What guy? I'm glad. I have never said, whether radio, podcast, TV, whatever, I have never said that my opinion is the opinion that everybody should have. I merely speak from my own experiences. I merely speak from my own life experiences and things of that nature, and my relationships with people. And I have a relationship with blacks and whites, couple of my Hispanic friends too. I'm so good with that now. I'm speaking a little Espanol periodically. And my Hawaiian friends, my Jamaican friends, my Samoan friends. I've had friends and a lot of different, my Laotian friends. I mean, I've had a lot of friends. I've lived a lot of places, so I don't really. But it's strictly my own opinion. If you guys want to live in the back, if you want to live back there in the past, so be it. But while you're living in the past, while you're back there, everybody else is moving on. Well, not everybody else. A lot of people are moving on. And there are white folks who have the same problem, who can't seem to get over. Matter of fact, I was talking to somebody last night and who worked for a nursing home. And they said one of the things they have realized in nursing homes, and you'll find this interesting. Yes.
I wonder if the mayor knows who Harmony Dillon is. You think he knows who she is?
I don't know. I don't know who she is. So.
Do you know who she is?
No.
He better learn her name because she's over the Civil Rights Division of the DOJ. And I will probably be paying out some money for the city. The guy was hired, and then the mayor tried to fire him. They had a board. I guess it was a board. And they said he was doing a good job. So then the mayor replaced it with Negroes, and they came up with some BS and fired him. So at least Knights came up and said, yeah, he's okay with prejudice and hiring blacks. But I'm okay with that. Can we say that's a good thing now? And white cities can just hire whites. Is that what we want to do?
I don't think we want to go there either.
Why not? I mean,
because
I don't feel comfortable. I live in a Negro city. You think I feel like I got anybody watching over me? Do you think the police is watching over me? You think that Negro mayor that's fixing to come on, who says people that look like us all the time, cares about me?
Now, let me ask you a question. I'm just going to ask you. Montgomery is a pretty safe city for white males.
No, it's not.
Wait a minute.
Leave your garage door open for 5 minutes and see what happens to your lawnmower.
Well, you may get something stolen every once in a while, but for your own safety, black folks only killing black folks in this city. So
I'm for that. They call that culling the herd.
Well, I mean, so you're pretty safe.
No, I'm safe because I got a damn gun, and you better be ready. I'm 75, and if you want to mess with a 75-year-old man that ain't got a whole lot to lose, come on.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
I've been threatened by people on your show all the time, and I ain't got one damn fear from any of them.
Well,
I live in a neighborhood where it's okay to put basketball goals out in the street because it's a black thing.
Yeah.
And you call down the city, they won't do a damn thing about it because black folk got the right to have their children play basketball in the street.
Well,
so it just what it does is destroy. Who's gonna move into a neighborhood where the basketball goes out in the street? Would you?
A bunch of people who like play basketball.
Who? Negroes, not a white person. You think a white person gonna move in where there's basketball goes in the street where you're supposed to have your car?
Now, somebody just told me to tell Don Prattville and Wetumpka meet his preferred demographic choice. So
I'm 75. If they want to pay for me to move, I'd be happy to do it.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, I feel you.
But right now, I own everything I got. I bet you Marcel don't own jack shit.
Okay.
Yeah,
I hear you.
You ask Marcel, does he own his cars? Does he own his house?
Yeah. Well,
all he has to do is change his apartment.
Yeah. Well, you got this thing about apartment.
Like you're okay with with the Salvation Army around your apartment, but if you own a home, do you want drug heads and everything running around it?
Well, the one thing
it's black folks that complain. They had a good place over there on Bell Street, and they wasted $100 million plus to build a whatever it is over there. Yeah. It's going to go broke.
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying it, but somebody at 75, you probably don't have much time left here anyway, so you won't have to complain too much longer.
I don't know, but I'm living every day of it.
Yeah.
As long as I can get up and move around, I'm happy with my life.
Yeah.
I don't sit over there like the Dixie Chicks and take pictures of everything that moves. And where she lives, my house is a lot better off than where she lives. So
okay.
I'm okay.
Okay.
I own all my vehicles. I own a 42-foot travel trailer. I own 2 wave runners and a boat, and I own my home, and I don't have no bills. I'm okay. Any Negro that wants to say I'm miserable, come on and say it. But I'm in better shape than most of them that's called it on this station.
All right then. Appreciate it. You said it. See, somebody told me that they need to hear from you every once in a while. Who is going to move into a neighborhood with Confederate flag? See, that's what I'm saying. See, this is the problem. Okay, I wouldn't mind me if a Confederate flag all over. It don't bother me at all. I don't care. Like if I move, I mean, I'm a Notre Dame fan. I don't care if everybody up and down the street got a Roll Tide flag in their yard. I will put my Notre Dame thing up. So or IU now, Indiana University now. But I'm just saying, because Notre Dame's in Indiana also. Okay, so much for that. So today, and I don't know where the mayor is. It's 8:06. Maybe he's got tied up or something like that. I'm not sure. But it's available for him when he decides to pop in. Too poor, too old, cannot move. What does that say? Racist whining all the time. The UA flag and no flag are different. Well, of course they're different. Notre Dame is Notre Dame. They're one of the best schools in the whole wide world. And University of Alabama is good at playing football. Yeah. And I wear Confederate flag shorts. I don't care. I mean, what you wearing under your pants, brother, that's up to you. Hey, but I think you got him in the right place, though. I do. I think you got him in the right place. So your flag is in your Confederate flag thing is in the right place. Nobody's going to see it. Not going to offend anybody. It's just you and your boxers. So we good. Wait a minute. Let me see where the mayor's. This. Okay, hold it. So where's the mayor, man? Okay, did you give him? All right, do me a favor. Text me his number so I can text the screenshot right to him. Well, I got his number. So here it is. It is StreamYard.com. I mean, I got his personal number actually. I just don't feel like going in the phone getting it. So if you could text it to me right quick, I can just send it to him. But we'll let you do this part. StreamYard.com / YD Niner SB Niner UD VF. No, SB9 and Bravo. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Foxtrot. Mm-hmm. And if he logs in with that, he'll get in. All right. Okay. Thanks. Mm-hmm. Okay then. Well, the mayor's trying to get in. Says everything that we had a couple letters off in the studio, so he can't get. I expect to find him. I expect to get it. No, we won't get the whole hour, but we'll talk to him anytime there crap on the Confederate flag. It's awesome. Confederate boxes are great. I'm all for wiping crap with that flag. Ooh, boy, I tell you what. Okay, guys, let me take my little break here, and then I'm gonna see if I can get the mayor on. So y'all hang loose for a second. I'm seeing if I can get the mayor. So we'll come right back right after this. So don't go no place. Don't go no place. Okay, we'll be right back. See if I get him in. Now, I did because I know it ain't my stuff. We worked last night with it. I had Z on the air with me, so we were from Fort Gordon. So he was hanging with my brother last night. So I know it is not me. Okay, it is not I this time. It's on their end. Okay, we'll be right back. Alrighty then. Okay, enough of that. Now, let me see if I can send this to the mayor myself to his phone. Okay, because okay, from now on, I'm gonna have to let him do it at nighttime with me, so he can make sure this is all taken care of. Because I did it last night. I made sure everything was working. I did. I truly did. Okay, StreamYard, StreamYard .com. Okay, you gotta go .com. Okay, let me check this on COM. See, the mayor doesn't have like me now as a sergeant. I'd make sure the first sergeant had all this stuff squared away. Okay, I'd make sure it was all squared away before we went on to the meeting. See, I'm just saying that's my job, and it is. Let me see, Yankee Delta 9. Okay, let me see, Yankee Delta 9er. Okay, Sierra Bravo 9. Okay, Sierra Bravo 9. Okay, I got this going on. I did it. See, I did this last night to make sure everything was working. See. Oh, wait a minute. There's the mayor now. Okay, mayor. You know, you need me to be your communication guy for you? I'm just asking. Are you there? Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Yeah, I don't know what the this thing happened here, but we appreciate you being here this morning.
Yeah, listen, sorry we're running a little bit behind this morning. I had to make a stop. So just as we were trying to do it on the road, I guess, a mobile, but I just said,
sometimes.
So I just said, look, we'll come on in and I'll pop back out. So
yeah, right on, bro. I appreciate you taking that time. You know, always it's always good to have the mayor. You know, because sometimes the little brain don't get to talk to the big brain enough.
No, listen, I figure since you canceled me last time, you're part of this cancel culture now.
No,
since you canceled me, I may as well take the opportunity because I may not get it again.
No, you're gonna listen. I will come to work on a Friday for you. Yeah.
On a Friday.
Yeah, because I don't normally work on Friday, so I'd come to work on a Friday for you just to get the opportunity to talk to a Morehouse man.
Hey, well, look, I appreciate that. I'm glad that my folks down in sanitation didn't just hear somebody bragging about working on Friday.
I don't mind working. I don't mind.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't mind working. You know, I didn't hear about Morehouse College in 1991 till I got here. I didn't know it existed.
You're not alone in that. There was just a recent marketing survey done where it was too high of a number. It was over 40% of students had not heard of HBCUs, and their counselors and teachers had not told them about HBCUs. And that's in 2025. That's not way back in 1945 when you were in high school.
Okay. Listen, I know you're not going to be able to answer this.
That, Kevin.
No. I know you're not going to be able to answer this question because there's litigation going on, but you are familiar with the question of Mr. Fortner.
Yeah, what about it?
Okay, I'm just saying he claims that there's a reverse discrimination on the brother. And if what he says is absolutely right, I would have to agree with him that we kind of sticking the meat to the brother.
Well, listen, reverse discrimination is a serious thing.
Yeah, it is.
When it happens, all right? So when it happens, it's a very serious thing, and it ought to be addressed no different than discrimination.
Right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have an issue about it when it happens, but I feel very confident that when the facts are heard and the evidence presented, not only will that be disproven, I think that Mr. Fortner will be viewed in a different light. Let's put it like that. When the facts are laid out, I feel very confident not only where his immediate supervisors and all of our team stood on that situation, but also where the people that he was managing and the environment they were in, the things they had to deal with as well. So when it's all on the table, we can come back and talk about it. Okay. And I don't mind talking about it. You know I don't mind talking about it. Okay. The lawyers may say I talk too much about it.
Yeah,
but I think people don't read court cases, Kevin. Look, I know that people don't read the transcripts, and I don't blame them. There's more important things going on, but it's easy to get a headline and in a political blog on one side. I guess we could go back and forth on that, but we'll let it play out in court, and I'm very, very confident, as in 100% confident, where this will land. And then once the process has been adjudicated, then maybe we'll talk about some of the things that were fact and most of the things that were fiction.
Okay. One more thing, and a lot of people have this question. We fund the Montgomery Police Department as if it was fully manned, and we know that it isn't. Why do we keep funding it like it's got the amount of people that it's supposed to have? And what happens to all that money once to the end of the year? Do we use that money for something else?
Well, one, we don't fund it like it was fully funded. We reduced the level of heads. Now, if I come in and defunded it, your same people would have said, well, he defunded the police and he's a socialist and he's this and he's a liberal, progressive, whatever. Mm-hmm. So we have been very smart, and we've invested more in the police department than any man in my time. That includes Mayor Fulmer. So I want us to be very clear about that, because you got this mythology that lives on out here as if some of us weren't around and didn't know what was happening and still don't know. But we have funded the police department and funded Parks and Recreation and funded the city itself because of how we have run the city and how we are focused on the model that's needed. So we look at the manpower that we have, and that manpower was reduced, and some of the money, the savings, was put into the pay raises. So when people talk about the funding, how do they think we got 15% pay increase, which had never been done before, just about 4 years ago? We're doing a pay study now for another pay raise. We're doing a $10,000 bonus. We put over $10 million, I want to say much more than that, in police vehicles and equipment. So the money that we've taken out, we really redispersed throughout public safety, in technology, in cameras, in new rifles, handguns, bulletproof vests, uniforms, everything that they need and more, technology, software, all the things that are on the level with a New York, a Chicago, and Atlanta, and any other major police department, we're trying to get in here, and we have gotten in here. So when people say that we're funding it at the level that's needed for us to do the things we need to do in the city of Montgomery. And I think the crime numbers and the performance of what the men and women Montgomery Police Department and other departments, OVP, Parks and Rec, Fire Rescue, 911, all of the EMA, I think it shows that our investments have been very prudent, been very responsible, and have been very effective. So we got to get rid of the kind of the Facebook, facts that are out there, because Facebook facts usually aren't factual.
Okay. How many policemen do we actually have on payroll?
Not enough.
Well, I realize that, but how many?
Well, Kevin, you're an Army man. You're a proud paratrooper. Did you ever tell the enemy how many people?
Okay. Okay, that's a reasonable answer. But we know it's not 400.
It's not 400, but
okay.
It is getting. I will say this: we're in a much better place this year than we were last year. Much better, and I applaud the men and women PD for helping spread the word about the culture, about the environment, the work that they do. I applaud the city council for passing our budgets that we propose to give them pay increases, and that citywide, and then to do this pay study. So those things are helping. And now the city council approved the bonus structure, which will be $10,000. That puts us now at the level of where Birmingham is. So it is a competitive race to get the talent that's out there that wants to be in public safety. And we know that we're competing against other, pseudo law enforcement agencies. I don't know really what you call them now at the federal level, given some of the people that they recruit and some of the people they don't train, but put behind masks with guns and a badge to go and so-called do immigration raids. That's a different story. So we know that we're recruiting against, a challenging environment. But at the same time, we're in much better position in terms of 1,000 people, 980-something, 90-something people expressed interest last year in 2025 alone. That is significant. We reserve the right to refuse some of them. We're happy when we can accept some of them. We're going to have our largest class now in March, and we think the next class after that will be larger than the one in March. So we're on the right track. And then we think once we get, the word out here about the $10,000 signing bonus or recruitment and retention bonus, that we'll have more people signing on and coming on to stay with Montgomery Police Department and to join our ranks.
Okay. Do you believe that if I smoked marijuana some years ago or last week, whenever, that should keep me out the police department?
No. They keep you out of the White House.
Okay. Yeah, you do. Yeah, that's true. Okay, because everybody's smoking marijuana. You can't even go down the street now without smoking marijuana. The guy next to you, it comes in your car. I think it ought to be treated like alcohol. If you got a problem with it, though, you need to be dealt with. But yeah, I think it's a social construct now that's part of where we are, and everybody's smoking something except me.
Yeah, it's different. It's a different day than it was when I was in high school. So,
okay. But I do have a problem with all these raises, though. The average citizen out here, and this is what they're going to have to learn. Policemen, we don't get raises every time we go down there and ask our boss for one. And listen, a soldier in the military right now don't make the money that police officers make, and they've been in Afghanistan and all these places. So Montgomery may be a little dangerous sometimes, but it ain't that dangerous. Where we got to buy your allegiance to the job.
Hey, don't tell the people who send out those emails that it's not as dangerous as Afghanistan and Iraq.
Well, it isn't. Okay, it isn't. But anyway, because the problem is with money. If we got to keep paying people to come here, then that's why they're coming. They're not coming to help our communities, and they don't know anybody in our communities.
So hey, okay, so fair point, right? But I'm gonna disagree with you.
Okay.
Because I think, and listen, I think the military is going up on their salaries too, because no one talks about this. The military is not at their capacity either, right? The military is not where they were 10 years ago, 20 years ago, because young men and young women are choosing different backgrounds and careers and that sort of thing.
Right.
So their numbers are a lot different. So everybody's having to sweeten the pot when it comes to, whether it be a military organization and certainly a paramilitary organization, like police department. But what we have to make sure we do, Kevin, is that we stay, where the market is. And when major cities are going up, hey, you lose some of your best detectives, some of your best folks in that city. When the state goes up, and the state is, Aaliyah is 30% below. Nobody wants to talk about that on the other side as well. So when the state law enforcement agency is below, then we know that that's going to have an impact on everybody, whether you're at the federal level or you're at the local level. So you're competing for a small pool of people. And we have to make sure that we're competitive with Aaliyah. We got to make sure we're as competitive with, the military. We're as competitive as we can be with our federal partners. And yeah, we got to start younger. I mean, we're going out there like the guys on the other side of the law as young as middle school to talk to these young boys and young girls about careers in law enforcement, because, hey, 8th grade to 12th grade comes really fast. And we want them to know that, hey, they can come in and they can work. And Kevin, the good old days of being a teacher or doing things just for the rah-rah community and for the cause, those days are over. Those days are long gone. The days for us now are you got to be competitive, whether it's sanitation, whether it's street maintenance. It doesn't matter. If you're not, those men and women that are doing manual labor that are in those places are either going to go do something else or they're going to go to another city that is paying them as much. And Kevin, quite frankly, maybe without the headache, maybe without the risk, maybe without the age of infrastructure potholes and, housing, and they can pick up the same trash and, hey, it's a whole lot easier here. They can go be a police officer somewhere else and, hey, it's a whole lot easier here. So we have to make sure that the city of Montgomery, is healthy and competitive, and we're doing the things to keep our community vibrant and to keep it growing. And again, I applaud the men and women who've been doing that. I don't think we can pay them enough, to be blunt with you. And I don't think we can pay our men in the military enough. So you'll never hear me criticize, and teachers as well. Some of these jobs, you can't pay people enough for their value for what they do. And I think, public safety is certainly one of those. And while we'll be looking at, fire rescue, 911, and PD. Now, of course, everybody else will come and say, well, what about me? But as I have to tell them as the mayor, you ain't ducking bullets. You ain't running in the fires. And neither am I. So that takes on a different level of risk and occupational hazard that, again, we can't pay for, but we appreciate those that want to do it.
Right before Christmas, there was a fire at the Woodley Terrace place. Why doesn't the city, and it may be something new, you want to be the think outside the box kind of mayor, we can't seem to get the Salvation Army, people who make their living helping other people, because no district wants them in their area. Why in God's name do we not have a building or something so the Salvation Army can do their work?
Man, first of all, that fire was just a tragedy. You think about, just right before Christmas, young kids and an adult. We, been in this job now, several years. I mean, we've had some bad things happen in the holidays, but man, that rings right up there. It's just something, man, that, it just hits you in a different kind of way. Anytime somebody's hurt, much less loses their life, you feel it. But man, that was just different. I think we're getting closer to the Salvation Army finding a site. I've been trying to help them identify a site. I know some of our council members have been doing that. And I know they've been open, more flexible, maybe than where they were, a couple of years ago, under new direction, new leadership, all that. So I think that we're a little bit closer. But Kevin, if I can be honest with you, if we open the Salvation Army today, it would not solve our problem of absentee landlords and slumlords not doing their job and making sure that their properties are maintained in a way that they would be if they had a relative living in one of those properties.
Right. And I really don't care about the landlords. I care about the people who don't have a place to stay right now.
Well, yeah. So people that don't have a place to stay right now, we can have Salvation Army. That would not help. I think that Councilman Mitchell has done a great job in working with them. If there's some additional resources we need to provide, I stand ready to assist him in providing those resources to get them a place to stay. Because the Salvation Army wouldn't really be for that. The Salvation Army is for the other problem you highlight, and that's the homeless issue, right? And those who need temporary transitional housing. So if there's some things that I don't know about, and I'll get with my staff as soon as we hop off here, and I'll call Councilman Rondé Mitchell about it, that we need, then I stand ready to assist those families for what they need right now.
Okay. The old advertiser building is out there. Why
Not
can't?
anymore.
Oh, somebody bought it? Somebody using it?
Yeah, somebody bought it.
Okay, well that's good. Okay,
But they're talking about it, Kevin. Come on, man. You got to tell your listeners. They got to keep you a little bit more informed on the things that's happening with the city.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the mayor should send me an email when things like that happen. Okay, I'm just thinking.
You're asking for a little much now.
Yeah, I understand. I understand, but it does seem to me.
I only do that for Yellowhammer News.
I like Yellowhammer. But 1819 News pretty much on the spot most of the time. I
don't know about they pretty much on your back and your butt. I'll say whether it be true or not, but that's another story.
Okay, I got cold the other day. I don't understand this. We let people in at 7:00 at night when it's getting cold. It starts getting real cold at 7:00 in the morning. We put them out.
Yeah.
What's up with that? We can't let them stay to 12 o'clock till it warms up.
No, you can't. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say you can't. We don't. I'm not gonna say we can't.
We know we don't. But it's cold as hell at 7:00 in the morning.
Listen, I certainly realize that, and I think again, we got a lot of organizations, a lot of nonprofits, churches, mosques, synagogues, and everybody else that helps us with the homeless population. But we can only ask those warming centers. Listen, we're really. I'll just get right to it. We've been in the warming center business longer than we're supposed to be. We're not supposed to be in the warming center business. And we're not supposed to be in it at the level that we are. That's not what it was designed for, and that's not what we can afford to maintain. So we're looking, we have on our team, and Eddie Collins did a great job working with our homeless task force, some other ideas and suggestions. We probably started having these conversations now with Councilman President Calhoun and Pro Tem Pruitt about investing in some homeless housing and daytime transitional housing. Now, we have a great initiative that we'll be rolling out here in probably early second quarter about housing and rapid housing facilities, smaller, not the tiny, well, we're going to have some tiny homes too, but, some old kind of refurbished container homes, if you will. So we're going to roll that out early part of second quarter if we can't get in by the end of the first quarter. So we probably need to start talking to the council now. As I say this, I'm thinking I should have done it before they probably hear it here, about what does that funding look like? Because we cannot be in the warming center business through eternity. We just can't afford to do it. We don't have staffing. We don't have the places. We aren't built for it. So we're going to bring in those people who specialize in this to assist those people, one with their housing, but also to get them the help they need to get out of the temporary transitional housing that they may be in.
I know a lot of my conservative friends won't like what I'm finna ask, but there's never
angers a bunch of people I've seen. I keep saying, if y'all losing, who's winning? Because everywhere I see they're winning, but I don't keep going.
But the question I'm going to ask:
some Bama fans who complain about everything.
Right. There's always a need for money. There's always a need for money in government, in my personal life. Always a need for money. Why don't we implement a sugar tax?
Because then you're gonna say I'm trying to be like Gavin Newsom, and you're gonna say I'm trying to be too West Coast, and I've been hanging out in LA with Karen Bass, and you're gonna call me a socialist, and then you're gonna say, I've been hanging out there with Gavin Newsom in Sacramento, you're gonna call me, a left wing idea. You know, if we start doing the sugar tax and all that, you know where you're gonna go with it.
But you almost already are always on the left wing. I don't have a problem with that if what your intentions are good. But sugar and beer and stuff like that, people don't need that stuff. Put a nickel on it. We don't need it.
Hey, listen. Some would say, okay, why don't we put a nickel on every plastic bag you get at the grocery store?
Well, we can bring our own bag. We don't need that plastic bag.
Hey, I agree with, say, the landfill that we just put about $7 million in. So that's what some people would say, right? Is why don't you put a nickel on that? Now, listen, let me say this. At the city of Montgomery, one of the only major cities who was blocked from getting an occupational tax. We are looking for other revenue streams every minute, every hour of every day. So we might just be saying this is the Kevin Elkins bill. We might name the bill after you.
Name it after me. The Elkins sugar. Okay. But it is a source of revenue. We don't need beer. We don't need food that makes us unhealthy. But if you want to eat it, there's a price to be paid on both sides. You're going to pay a little more for it. And so we can, because those are some of the people who don't normally go to the hospital with no insurance. They spend all their money in beer or going out to the casino. I mean, I'm just thinking we need to get some more money here. And it seemed like to me that there are a lot of empty buildings in the city of Montgomery that could be used for a temporary warming center during inclement weather. I just think that I hear what you're saying, but we can't be in it forever. But if not us, who? If not the city, who?
Well, I think it was who was doing it before. It didn't just start getting cold, and we didn't just start having homeless people, right? So who was doing it before? And it wasn't just the Salvation Army. You had a lot of NGOs, and we've got some good models out there from cities that have a far worse problem with this than we do. And again, like I said a few minutes ago, we probably have to have those budgeting conversations for it now. So that we aren't waiting until budget season to address it when everybody's kind of in a panic about, you know, this line item or that line item or this pet project or that pet project. We probably should have had that discussion now, and I think, you know, we will, and we'll bring it up in committee, and I'll get with my staff and I'll get with the council, and we'll start having some committee meetings to discuss that.
Okay. So in your mind, I mean, next year's another election year for you and the city.
Next year, hey, wait a minute. I don't know if I'm gonna be here next year. You're gonna be here next year. Let me get through.
I'm just saying, if we hear it's gonna be another election year,
we just started 2026. You already in campaign mode. I don't got to listen. I don't have a primary in 2026. Some other people have primaries in 2026.
But the year 27 is a mayoral election.
Well, yeah, it's mayor, city council. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So it ain't that far. But the question is, though, we don't really seem to be thinking outside the box on some of the major issues. It is said that. Okay, well, you can just
keep going. I'll let you finish. I'm sorry.
It is said that we don't really write many tickets on the streets.
That's not true. That's false.
Has it gone up some now? Because I mean that
is false. But I'm gonna tell you, we got something else coming. I'm glad you brought that up. But keep going.
Okay. Well, I mean that's a source of revenue. I mean I don't want to be, but here's the problem: everything is going up, and the electricity is going up. And speaking of electricity, the Meta Center, whenever it comes on board, the data center, is that going to affect our electric bills in Montgomery?
I don't know. They certainly have affected them in some other places, and we work with Alabama Power and the PSC and our boards around here to make sure that impact is as minimal as it can be.
Here's my problem, Mayor. If it's a business, it is a private business. Why should it affect me at all? Let them pay their own bill. Did we give some subsidy away to get them here?
Yeah. Well, listen, you can't say that about business and then say you want the growth that comes with business. Again, you can't put the city at a disadvantage when other cities are doing the same thing, recruiting the same projects that we're recruiting. So we don't want to be at a disadvantage in the marketplace. We don't offer anything that Huntsville doesn't offer. We don't offer anything that Alpharetta, Georgia doesn't offer, or anybody else, Savannah, anybody else. So we got to make sure, listen, you said everything's going up. The cost of running a city is going up, right? The cost of providing the services that we depend on, paving streets is going up. The cost of providing nice parks is going up. The cost of trash and garbage pickup is going up. So all of those things. So we have to try to, adjust, where we are if we're going to be a growing city and a growing region. When I came in to the city, they had it was a time capsule that we read at the city council meeting. It was a 50-year time capsule. And the mayor at that time, Mayor Earl James, thought that in the early 70s, Montgomery would be at 250,000 people. Well, Montgomery has never reached that under any mayor. But his point was Montgomery was growing. It wasn't Mayor James was the mayor at that time, but Montgomery has been growing. And we want to make sure that even as some of that growth has trickled out to the region and not inside the city boundaries, Central Alabama is ticking up. Not as fast as some other regions, the coast and North Alabama, but ticking up, holding our own, I guess, if you will. So if we're going to continue to grow, we can't do things that, contradict our interest in growth when other cities around the state and around the country are doing what we're doing, whether it's a data center or whether it's anything else. But I want to get back to your speeding tickets. One, we have issued more tickets. Two, you will be seeing more technology used to issue tickets in 2026. So there'll be more tickets written in 2026 than there were in 2025, and there are more written in 2025 than there were in 2024. You'll see more motorcycle cops pulling people over for tickets. So we're going to do the things and utilize technology as a way, not as a revenue producer, because people are going to say, well, you're doing it for revenue. That's not what we're really doing for revenue, even though it doesn't hurt. We're really doing that to make sure we make the city safer and that we do a better job of coming into lawbreakers at a earlier time than when something is more serious. So we really want to put the clamps on people stretching and breaking the law. And a lot of that starts in your traffic enforcement, and we're going to be enforcing that in a very, very proactive manner.
Okay, but let me get back to the medicine for just 1 second. So it is going to cost us, hell, my light bill's already high enough as it is, but it is going to cost us something to have that medicine in here. It's the only businesses I know that we have to pay for them being here. And something about that don't sound productive for me.
But Kevin, that has been the modus operandi since Jim Folsom brought in Mercedes in 1993. So that's not new, and it may have been even going on before then, but I know that was a big reason why the automotive industry even got started in Alabama under Governor Folsom in 93 with Mercedes coming in. And it's been a formula that works since that time. But listen, it's Georgia, it's Tennessee, it's South Carolina, it's everybody that's doing that. So you can't opt out of the game and then say, well, where are my jobs? Where are my opportunities? We got to listen. We got to play the game. Right now, to use a college football metaphor, if you're playing college football, you got to pay to play. All right? So you got an NIL agreement. You can decide, well, we're not going to pay players. You can be Dabo Swinney, and you can say we're not going to pay them. That's fine. You're going to lose 5 or 6 games and, maybe hold on to your job, maybe not.
Your job.
Yeah. Or you can be like the university where you're from called Notre Dame, or the state that you're from called Indiana, which has bought a whole team of 30-year-old players playing against 18 and 19-year-olds that could have their PhDs by now and would be colonels in the military and everything else. You can have a group of 30-year-olds you pay for and win. So the point is, the rules of the game are that you have to play and you want to win the game. And that's what we want to do when it comes to economic development and growth and bringing jobs here. And that's what we're going to continue to do. And then we'll continue to grow our small businesses, invest in those homegrown businesses so they can grow to be that next big business as well, hopefully alongside these industries.
Okay. One other thing, every year, a certain type of year, I keep hearing things about money for older people's homes for weatherization and things of that nature. Is that a practical plan? I mean, are people really getting help from this?
They are, and we'd love to see them get even more help. You know, we got a lot of assistance with that, with the American Rescue Plan Act. We're able to do a lot more dollars and putting them on the ground. That money has to be, and most of it has been spent, but it has to be, spent by the end of this year. And so we have to figure out now that we didn't have that federal reserve money, or that federal money coming to help us with our reserves, how we continue those programs. But yes, I think it's important that we have programming and that we have funding to help the seniors and the elderly in this community with things from food, with things from home improvements to things of healthcare. I think that's what makes the country great, and that's what really makes us different, is that we provide for people in a way that we can, because we are the best country in the world, and we are the most economically sound country in the world with the best economy. So yeah, we need to do that, and we can afford to do it. So we should continue to do that.
Okay, well, just want to make sure, because sometimes I ride around and I see old folks, especially when it's raining. It's the roofs on top of the house, especially in West Montgomery, look like they're falling in and things of that nature. Now, we don't do anything for them, do we?
Well, no, we do. I think when those issues are one, we torn down more blighted homes under this administration than we had certainly in the previous 10 years. So we're removing blight. We're tearing down homes and buildings like the Governor's House and others, and buildings on West South Boulevard to prepare for redevelopment and reinvestment. But we look at, the best practices. Some of your callers and some of your followers will say, well, the mayor's at Harvard. Well, when you're sick, you want the best doctors you can get, whether it be in Montgomery or UAB or anywhere else, to help you with your sickness. Well, when we are sick as a community, we want the best practitioners and implementers to help us. And so that's Harvard Business School or the Kennedy School. If that is MIT's urban planning department, we want them to tell us, hey, how did this city reinvent itself? How did this city reimagine itself? What did they do in older neighborhoods with older properties? Where did the funding come from? Where did the grant money come from? So we look for those best ideas and we implement them. So I don't want anybody to hear this and think that we aren't helping those. We may just have not gotten to them yet, but we have helped hundreds in the last several years under this administration, and we'll continue to do that. So we aren't just providing incentives and bailouts to big companies. We're helping everyday people who need those bailouts as well.
That's nice here. Often at the city council meeting, people will come up with their business ideas and blah, blah, blah. And somebody on that city council will say, well, we got too many of those in the city. Constitutionally, who has the right to tell me that I can't put up a liquor store because we got too many?
The constitutionally gives the city the right and to reserve the business license for anybody in any industry, whether it's a nightclub or event center, whether it's a package store, whether it's a check cashing place, whether it's a chicken wing joint or anywhere else. So we are allowed to accept or reject that business license based on the position of the city council and based on the mayor himself.
I've been looking in Act 618 to see exactly where that is. I haven't found it. If my business is legal, why in the world should I be stopping doing it? Because you think I got too many car washes, or you think that it's legal. Because here's one thing about it. During COVID, what stores were always left open? Liquor stores. We closed people down, but the liquor stores
are run by the state. So I can't. You have to talk to the alcohol beverage ABC board. Yeah, you have to talk to them about that. I think for us, listen, I'm glad you brought this up. I was just in a meeting yesterday with our economic development team talking about a specific area that we've got too many stores, and I don't want to see any more of those stores, and the people in Montgomery don't want to see any of those stores. So we reserve that right to use our discretion and to take feedback from the community and say, we got too much of this. We don't need any more. Or to say, hey, if we got one here, we don't need it on the next block. Take it a mile down the road. Take it 2 miles down the road.
But if it's not going to work, right? But if it's too many, then it won't stay there long anyway.
No, but here's the thing. Kevin. You can't allow your city, your community to be overrun by too much of anything. We don't have gentlemen's clubs here. Some of y'all want gentlemen's clubs. We don't have not one here. But at the same time, we don't have people push back on check cashing. Well, we don't have check cashing, but in certain places in the city. They aren't passed. They aren't in East Montgomery. You can't find one. So we have to make sure that whether it's a car wash, whether it's a gentleman's club, whether it's a liquor store, whatever it is on the fringes, that we regulate that. And I believe in regulation. I believe there has to be some level of government regulation in all facets of our industry.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure
again, having read 618, I don't know where you.
I keep 618 right here on my phone. I got a hard copy back here. I carry it with me like a preacher carries the Bible.
I got you. But tell me in there where the authority to stop my legal business from participating in commerce. I haven't seen it.
I don't know. You can participate in commerce. It just may be that you can't get a business license.
Okay. All right. But we'll let the state of Alabama come through here and put a liquor store on anybody's corner.
So listen, you know now, if I could change some of the things with the state of Alabama, I would. But that's above my pay grade, as they say. I'm gonna let you get one of our state representatives. Some of those folks on here to talk about that. But if I could, I would. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, and this is my last comment on this. There's no written requirement for people to get liquor licenses from the city of Montgomery. There's nothing written down. It's all left up to the city councilman. It is the only thing down there where one city councilman can determine if a person gets a liquor license. If he says no, everybody else jumps on board and said no. I think that's a bunch of Bravo Sierra. Okay.
Listen, and I understand that, but let me say this: I support the council having that authority. They're closer to their districts and the community and what those folks want and what they don't want. I think it's good for them to have that power and to have that voice to speak to it. And listen, if somebody's trying to bring something to any of the 9 districts, and they have an issue, they need to sit down with that council member. They need to talk that through and sit down with those neighborhoods and those communities to really be sure that the community wants. Why would you want to put a business somewhere that the community doesn't want you to put it?
Well, there are approximately 22,000 people in each district. Okay. Right. You telling me that 10 people out of 22,000 don't want something, and so now we're going to deny a guy his business because
that's what's called a democracy, Kevin. That's what's called a republic. That's why we are
10 people out of 22,000.
That's who the people, the 200 or so thousand people in this city have elected to make those decisions, and they have a right to change out every 4 years if they don't like it. Okay. But yes, they have, and then if they want to change their mind in the middle of that, they can come to the city council meeting and petition and say, "Hey, we want to see this change." And you bring me to an important point. I mean, sometimes, Kevin, you back your way into a smart topic, even when you aren't necessarily trying to.
Okay.
We are updating our zoning and ordinances for the first time since the 60s. I'm sorry, we're changing them and overhauling them since the first time since the 60s. All right, just the 60s. We started this about 3 years ago. We've had to start and stop. Been a few hiccups to get it right. It's taken longer than I wanted, but we're getting it right, and we'll be finished with it this year. It was tweaked in 1985. Hasn't been touched since then, when I was in elementary school. My point is this. Because of the zoning codes and because of the zoning we have is exactly why we have some of the challenges that you talk about and you talked about for a long time and with your media platform and other listeners have brought up, because other cities update theirs 5 to 7 years, 10 at the most, but anywhere from 5 to 7. We have not done that in the city of Montgomery. So we've fallen way behind in best practices. And what I'm saying to you is some of these things, what is next to what? What is on the next corner here? What is allowed in this place but not allowed in that? Is because of our zoning ordinances that we have. And so it's because of that grunt work that's being done in the city, being done in the planning department that we've been working on for several years now. that will help us change that will help us have a better looking city, and I think a better planned city, which will make it a more investable city for those who are here and those who are not here to invest in, so we don't have some of these junkyards over here. We don't have this building sitting next to this house over here or that vacant spot here. We don't need that, but it's because the city did not change. So I'm going to go back. That's 60 years, moderately updated in 85 for subdivision use, not touched since then. So we are doing that to avoid exactly in part what you're talking about. And I think that those business owners should play a role in the process. I think community leaders and neighborhood leaders should play a role in the process, both in person and virtual. And they need to make sure that their voices are heard, and they need to make sure that they understand where we're coming from and the type of city we want it to be when Stephen Reed is no longer sitting in this chair, is no longer sitting in this office, and the next mayor is, and the next council is, that it's a lot better, and hopefully it's a lot easier for them than it is for us. And that's kind of our responsibility. So yes, we deserve the right to veto that idea, that business, if we don't think it should be in that district.
Well, you take the right anyway, whether you deserve it or not, well, that's a whole different story. One more thing that's important.
Jackson Hospital, when we going to talk about Jackson?
Okay, well, we can talk about that next time because this is more important than Jackson.
You're not going to give us our credit for putting in, for bailing out this healthcare system. In the
we appreciate you. We appreciate you for that. But
I thought your folks said we had too much money in reserves and we didn't need all that money. But they don't know about a rainy day. They don't know about a stormy day.
But this is more important. The healthcare in
the hospital.
Yes, the Woodley Terrace incident thing. Okay. We found out that we got a lot of people owning property around here that don't have any representatives here or anything like that. So why don't part of the law be, if you own a building here, there must be, at least in the state, a representative from your organization that's accountable to the city council. So when they send out a letter to you saying, come see us, somebody better show up or we're going to put locks on the thing, because that's a shame.
So two things on that. The Woodley Terrace situation, like we talked about earlier, is a tragedy. We are changing some of the strengthening. Let me be very clear. Strengthening some of the language in that outdated code of ordinances that we have, in our ordinances that we have, when it comes to inspections and when it comes to enforcement for multifamily and single family housing, but certainly multifamily housing. And if you're out of state, then it's going to cost you more to do business here. Right now, Kevin, people look at some of the properties in Montgomery as a tax write-off. Let's just be honest with it.
Yeah.
Property taxes are lowest in the country. It's easy for somebody in New York or California, Texas, or Illinois, to look and say New Jersey to say, yeah, I'll buy this property right off of my balance sheet, save me some money to give back to Uncle Sam. So they don't care as much because they aren't here as much. And we got to change that, and we are going to change that. And there'll be more discussion that you'll hear about it from, I'm sure, the city council and the city itself over these next several weeks.
Okay. Is there a need for people to work for the city? Do you have departments where you need help in right now?
We need help in code enforcement. We need help in sanitation. We need help in Montgomery Police Department. We got plenty of areas we need help in.
Okay. I don't mind riding on the back of that garbage truck, but I can only do it like one day a week.
Yeah, you too old. We don't do we don't do old timers and part timers. So we're proud of your service and jumping out of planes.
Yeah.
We're proud of that. Leave that back. And yes, you stay behind that desk like you are right now.
Okay.
That microphone. We don't need you out here because you won't be out here 1 hour picking up 1 or 2 cans before you can find a workman's comp plan.
I never thought about it. Anyway, Mayor, you got the last word because we got to run.
Hey, listen, I just glad we had to get on. We had to reschedule from early, but listen, it's a strong 2026. I want to encourage everybody certainly to keep their heads up. We had a good 2025. It wasn't great, but we had a good 2025 as a community, and I think that's because despite our differences and disagreements, we keep the big thing, forward thinking, and we keep it in front of us, and we work to do that. We want to continue to do that because it's showing up in our metrics. It's showing up in many areas across the city, things that the mayor doesn't have any control over, some things that the mayor does. But as a community, as a region, we're seeing that progress. We want to continue that in 2026. And we know we got to come talk to the people. We appreciate the questions. We appreciate the feedback. And we'll continue to work to make the city, as great as it can be. And we'll talk about some of those things. I hope, Kevin, you'll be in the audience and also be there in our State of the City next month in February, where we'll lay out some of the things that you heard about.
Yeah.
And some things that you haven't heard about. We'll lay that out next month. But we'll continue to do the work, and we'll continue to come on and talk to you.
Before we go, I know you have been nervous about the rumor that you have heard that I was running for mayor. I'm not.
That keeps me up at night, Kevin.
Okay, see you later. Okay, see you later, Mayor. Oh, hey, tell your dad. Is he doing okay?
Dad is doing good. He called me with 3 things he wanted me to do last night. So yeah, he's giving orders. So yeah.
And how's Miss Molly?
My mom is doing okay. But certainly she is still moving around the church, still moving around the house, and she's just not able to drive. So she's not able to drive like she wants to be able to drive. So she don't like that.
Okay. Well, tell her if I don't get my eye checked out, I'm gonna be in the same room with her. So
listen.
And
that's why she cared, right? But I say, hey, you can still see. So you got some grandsons and some other church folks that can help you, and neighbors that help you drive around, and family members. So it's good.
All right. Thank you, Mayor Reed, for coming on and taking part of your valuable time. But you can go to sleep easy now, knowing that I'm not running for mayor. So now, have at it and come up with your new plans.
Hey, I appreciate it, Kevin. And look, Will, you keep calling yourself the mayor of the airwaves, and I can call myself the mayor of the city for as long as we can until we get to 2027.
And that's right. And then we'll see what happens.
That's right.
See you later. Bye.
All right. See you guys.
Okay, my time is just about up. Want to thank the mayor for coming on and spending some time with us this afternoon, this morning, this whatever time it is. I know I got a lot of things over here. We're going to replay this later on today, so y'all can have an opportunity to talk to the mayor or listen to what he had to say, just in case you didn't chance to get in. That's so bad. What's so bad? What's bad? What's bad, man? What's bad? Come on now. What's bad? First African American Mayor Montgomery in office since 2019. All right. Hey, don't have any time to get you done. My time's up. We're done. We're out of here. So have a good morning, everyone. Okay. Mass shooting in downtown Montgomery prompted debate over National Guard deployment of public safety strategy. Listen, I don't find it to be. I find it to be a good strategy. I mean, really, if you're short policemen, I think we need people to. That's why we have a National Guard in times of messed up situations like that. Having been in National Guard for a little while, I'm very familiar with the process. And I don't have a problem with that. People keep getting shot in the streets. Sometimes we need to do what we need to do. But anyway, I got to go because my time is up. But I listen, again, I appreciate all you guys. But we'll replay this probably around 12 o'clock or so. So you guys can tune in and check the mayor's thing out all over again. Okay? So, gotta go. Life is short. Don't forget today's lesson of life is the sun is always out. It is the clouds that are only temporary. Keep walking. You'll see the sun. Good morning to you. Time to rise and shine.